Hey guys, and welcome to another weekly draft video here on the Nitsahon Magic channel. I'm doing something a little bit different this week. Battle for Zendikar is the most recent set that's on Magic Online right now, so it's what I'm still drafting, even though Oath of the Gatewatch has been completely spoiled and people can play it in real life. I can't record playing it yet, unfortunately, so I won't. And in the past, on the last couple videos I have that are sort of the lag time between when the newest set is available in real life and when it's available in Magic Online. The videos I post just don't get that much interest, don't get very many views, and I understand why, because everyone wants to play Oath of the Gatewatch drafts, and so do I. But it's not an option at this point. So instead, I'm doing a stipulation draft. And what I mean by that is that in this draft, I am putting forth a stipulation for myself that I have to meet that will sort of hamstring me in building the deck, and we'll end up with an interesting deck, even though it may not be very good. And so the stipulation in this draft will be that I have to take the card with the highest rarity from every pack. If there's a tie in rarity, I get to at least make some decision. If there's a foil card at the same rarity as something else, the foil sort of breaks the tie. So that's what we're going to do here, see what kind of deck we end up with. Before I get started on the draft, I want to say that my videos are, in addition to being posted on my YouTube channel, are posted on Paper Champion. If you're looking for other great Magic the Gathering content, check out paperchampion.net. And I'll be back with you guys when the first pack opens. I can guarantee you we'll be taking either a Mythic or a Rare in the first pack, so I'll see you guys then. All right, first pack's about to open. I also wanted to say, if you have ideas for another stipulation for the next stipulation draft, post them in the comments. I'll be doing one next week too, because still Battle for Zendikar will be the most recent set on Magic Online, so I won't yet have it. So this is a draft video where it's not so much about me talking about what the best card to draft is, but I'll do that as well, because obviously here, because of our stipulation, we have to take Gruesome Slaughter, so hopefully we'll end up in a colorless deck. But the card to take here, if we weren't doing a stipulation draft, would be Grip of Desolation. Clutch of Currents is also very good. I think those are the two best cards, and I think Grip of Desolation is significantly better than Clutch of Currents. It's probably one of the best uncommons, maybe even a mythic uncommon, as they're often called, of the best uncommons in sets. In the set, Pilgrim's Eye, of course, is good too for fixing. But yeah, we're taking Gruesome Slaughter because that's the card of the highest rarity. All right, Prism Array. So that's a pretty brutal card to have to take, but at least if we're ending up taking the card of the highest rarity in every pack, we're probably going to end up in a multicolor deck. So Prism Array will be better. So that's what we'll take here. If I didn't have to take Prism Array, this pack's not that strong anyway. I mean, I wouldn't take Prism Array, of course, but I might take Lifespring Druid, even though green has to be pretty open for it to be good. Valakut Invoker's okay. Ulamog's a spoiler and Dominator. And there's lots of playable cards in this pack, but nothing amazing. But yeah, we got to take the Prism Array. This pack is, at least in this pack, we're not passing a Grip of Desolation. We are going to be sending some strange signals to our fellow drafters in this draft. So Prism Array it is. All right, so we have two uncommons here. We have Blighted Fen and we have Skitterskin. So I have to take one of those, and I think I take Skitterskin. I can sort of, make an educated decision here. Skitterskin's better with Gruesome Slaughter. Blighted Fen is good, but I'd rather, make sure I get at least a few creatures in this deck, since we're sort of drafting, a goofy, wacky kind of deck. So Skitterskin it is. Okay, well, Aligned Hedron Network is what we're taking here. We've already got 3 rares. Rare drafting it up. If I weren't taking the Aligned Hedron Network, Shadow Glider and Adverse Conditions are probably the best cards in this pack. Fortified Rampart can be quite good as well. But yeah, we'll take the Hedron Network. Okay, well, we get some fixing in a Canopy Vista. That is one thing that we'll probably pick up, is fixing, because people don't pick really highly the dual lands or the man lands in this set. So we're taking Canopy Vista. We don't have a choice. Crumble to Dust. I'm glad there's a rare here, because taking Crumble to Dust would make our deck significantly worse. But we'll take the Canopy Vista here. So, what are we so far? I don't really know. I don't have to play all the cards we draft, is the good news. I just have to play enough to make a deck. So, The Hedgerow Network is usually a sideboard card, but right now it doesn't hit any of our creatures, and if it can be a 1-for-1, then I think that's pretty good. All right, well, I'll take a Brood Monitor pretty happily. That might be what I would take out of this pack anyway, so that works out for us. We have the fixing for white. We have some colorless stuff going on with Gruesome Slaughter. So I think I like Brood Monitor here over Blighted Cataract or Unified Front. Those would probably be the cards I would consider taking out of this pack anyway. I mean, the Medic and the Invoker are good, but I like Cataract a lot. It's my favorite of those lands. And Unified Front is good too, and could actually be good in our deck if we end up in a crazy Converge deck with a bunch of fixing. But I'll take the Brood Monitor here. All right, well, we got to take Transgress the Mind here. It's not a card I'm usually happy to play, but it may make our deck in the end here. Sheer Drop is definitely the best card left in this pack, if you're curious. But we will take our Transgress the Mind, and we'll take a Void Attendant, which I don't mind too much either. So black-green sort of seems to be where we're going, and, maybe some blue. And some white. We have Canopy Vista after all. So we'll take Void Attendant. Lithomancer's Focus and Oran Reef Invoker are both pretty good, and probably better than Void Attendant, but, we're doing what we're doing. Okay, so now we're at all commons, so I kind of get a choice here. Interesting. We got Calastria Nightwatch, which is black, and that looks like a color we'll probably be playing, based on what we've taken so far. We don't have anything colorless to go with Synergy or anything that exiles stuff to go with our Synergy. We also have a bunch of green at this point that we're probably going to play. So I think I'm actually going to take Territorial Baloth here. I would probably take the Nightwatch because I normally wouldn't be committed to green this early. But I'll take the Baloth. I mean, we know we have fixing for green already. So when I actually get to make a choice like I did there, it's not too bad of one, I don't think. Right, Lifespring Druid. Well, I don't get to take it, though, because there's a Scythe Leopard. So Lifespring Druid would be what I would want to take here. Maybe we'll get one in the next few packs, but we'll take the Scythe Leopard here. Green's open, so we're probably going to end up with a lot of green cards. I guess I'll take a Blister Pod here, all commons, so I get a choice. And here I think I'll take Swell of Growth over a Sylvan Scrying, although... No, I don't get a choice. Sylvan Scrying's uncommon, so I don't get to have to think about it anyway. Sylvan Scrying could end up being good in our deck anyway. Crumble to Dust, all right. Sylvan Scrying could end up being good in our deck if we really end up in the Converge deck, so this thing is a crazy, crazy deck at this point. Crumble to Dust isn't something I will play, like, ever, so... I mean, I guess if I played an opponent who happened to have a crap ton of... I'll take a playable card in green, which seems to be a color we're getting a lot of. And, yeah. Earthen Arms isn't amazing, but it's perfectly fine, especially in the kind of deck we're sort of tossing together. So Gruesome Slaughter right now isn't looking amazing, but we do have Skitterskin, Void Attendant, Blister Pod, and Brood Monitor, and all of Brood Monitor's friends, so it's not too bad. Okay, well, we are taking Scatter to the Winds, which is the rare in this pack. It's not a bad one to take either, but Eldrazi Sky Spawner would be more ideal. Rolling Thunder would be as well, I think. But after that, I would probably think about taking Scatter over stuff like Demon's Grasp and Ruin Processor. So, but yeah, we'll take the Scatter here. Okay, we have to take one of these uncommons, Zondu Rising, Retreat to Kazandu, or Retreat to Valakut. I think we take the Retreat to Kazandu, since green is pretty clearly the color we'll be playing, and it's not awful. I don't love it. It's not a card I normally end up playing, but given the special circumstances of this draft, I'll take the Retreat to Kazandu. So, black, blue, green, I guess. And I'm not really married to the black. Okay, Zada. There's a red card for us to add to the pile. Sheer Drop is here. Courier Griffin. Probably all cards. And Kozilek's Channeler, all cards I would probably want to be taking before Zada. Maybe even Horribly Awry. But we'll take Zada. She may make our deck. Another Transgress the Mind, so we will be transgressing a lot of Mind before I take it. Shadow Glider, Stone Fury, Ghostly Sentinel. Most of the cards in this pack I would rather have over Transgress, but we'll take the Transgress. We do have one Processor so far, so that's a thing. Zada looks like it might be hard to make it fit into our deck. Too bad we're not picking up anything white because Canopy Vista could at least let us play that. But we're not getting there. Okay, Gul'Dra's Overseer. Black does look like it'll be one of our colors, so I think I'm okay with Gul'Dra's Overseer. It's performed well for me, better than I thought it would. If I were in black, this is probably the card I would take anyway. Encircling Fisher is pretty good too. Telling Geopede's not bad. But other than that, this pack is kind of meh, so perfectly okay taking a Gul'Dra's Overseer there. So Prism Array, will you make it into our deck? I mean, I think you need to be 5 colors for it to be really good because the Scry 3 ability is really great. Tapping people's creatures down is pretty good too, but I don't love it. All right, well, we can either have a Grove Tender Druid or a Scythe Leopard here. Do we want a second Scythe Leopard, or do we want a Grove Tender Druid? We don't have a whole lot of allies so far, and I won't have control over whether I get them. At least not a lot of it. But I think I'll take the Grove Tender. I'd rather have it than the Scythe Leopard. We may end up playing it, especially if we pick up a few allies late here. Okay, so here we have a choice. It's either Giant Mantis or Dominator Drone. I think with the colorless stuff we have going on, Gruesome Slaughter is only going to be playable if we have enough colorless creatures. He also has Ingest, which works with our Void Attendant. So I think we take the Dominator Drone here. Giant Mantis is worth looking at, but I think we take the Drone for sure. All right, Bloodbond Vampire. Maybe we end up with some life gain stuff. It is an ally as well, so it works with Grove Tender Druid. Tudru's Stalwart is probably what I would take here if I had a choice, based on what we're in right now and all the colors we have, but I'll take the Bloodbond Vampire. All right, I don't mind Hagra Sharpshooter when I'm being forced into taking it, especially. It's a dude. It's also an ally, I think, right? Yeah, it's a forgotten ally. Not a card people are desperate to play usually. Here I would like Felidar Cub or Ondu Champion or Ghostly Sentinel, but I'll take Retreat to Valakut. Probably not playing it. Red doesn't look super likely. I think I'll take an Arcana Assassin here, another ally. So we are sort of building towards an ally deck now, at least a little bit with our Grove Tender Druid and stuff. And I'll take an Oran-Rife Invoker here. And I'll take another Arcana Assassin. So our deck actually, all things considered, doesn't look completely awful. I mean, it is kind of a pile. One thing we're really lacking is removal. When we don't get to choose what we pick, it's hard to pick up good removal, but we do have Scatter to the Winds and Gruesome Slaughter and Align Head-Drawn Network, which may or may not make the cut in the end. So we've got some stuff. Don't know that I'll be playing Sylvan Scrying. We seem to be predominantly black-green, maybe splash white and blue, and we may just cut blue altogether, depending on where we go. All right, Oran-Rife Hydra, that's pretty convenient to open a on-color rare for us because... and we'll have both the landfalls in our 2 primary colors, both the landfall dudes, so I think that's pretty good. What else we got here? What would I take? I mean, Touch of the Void's pretty good. We're not in red, so if I were in these colors right now in this draft, what would I take? I'd probably take Oran-Rife Hydra anyway. Dampening Pulse is pretty good too, but I think I would take this Hydra anyway, so... We do have a lot of 6-drops, though. All right, Hero of Gomafada. I mean, we are moving into an ally deck. That's a pretty good ally to pick up. Complete Disregard would be nice. That's kind of the reason we're not picking up removal is because we have to pass all this common removal. So that's part of the reason we're not picking it up. So I think I'll take Hero of Gomafada here. At this point, it does kind of look like blue's going to go by the wayside. Okay, here I think I pick up Pilgrim's Eye over Fire Mantle Mage. Could also take Rising Miasma, but Pilgrim's Eye can help us fix, and we are going to be multiple colors, so I think that's what I want. And we're not in red. Just obviously, it hasn't been very open because we just haven't seen cards of the highest rarity in those colors, so Pilgrim's Eye it is. We don't have any life gain at this point, so Arcana Assassin's not looking awesome. Neither is Bloodbond Vampire, but maybe we'll pick it up. I mean, there are allies that will trigger Grove Tender Druid and Hero of Gomafada, so I'll probably play them anyway. I wouldn't advise playing them normally. What's your Awaken cost? It is 7. So that's pretty high. I'll stick it over here, though. Okay, so Skitter Skin's probably what I take here. A second one of those doesn't seem bad. We have a few colorless creatures, which makes him better. And a one-drop white ally isn't really what we want. White's not one of our primary colors. Well, Tadru Warcaller is paying us off for shoving some allies in our deck. We're not going to be able to go super wide, but we do have Brood Monitor. Infused with the Elements could be good in our deck, but I think I like Tadru Warcaller more given what's going on with our deck. And it's probably the best card in this pack in a vacuum anyway. Green's just usually not that strong, but we'll take it here. Okay, so do we want another Retreat to Kazandu? Do we want an Ulamog's Despoiler? Or do we want a Blighted Fen? We are low on removal, so Blighted Fen's kind of worth looking at. We have a few ways to exile stuff, so Ulamog's Despoiler could be really big, and he is colorless. I think I'm going to take him over the other stuff. So, yeah. Another aligned Hedron network. Well, we're probably not playing a second one. Grove Tender Druid would be nice here, but we'll take the second network. Okay, I think I'll take a Culling Drone, or a Lifespring Druid, huh? Yeah, I think I'd rather have Lifespring Druid given our color situation. So yeah, we'll take that. All right, Plated Crusher. I guess I don't mind him. I haven't seen him in a while. I actually kind of forgot he existed in this set, but we'll take him. Definitely going to end up having to cut a 6, and Gruesome Slaughter may not be making the cut. Because we don't have enough colorless creatures to, I think, to take huge advantage of it. I don't think so. I think we probably lose Gruesome Slaughter. Probably lose at least one Scythe Leopard. He's a little slow anyway. But we'll see what else we cut. It's a little harder than usual. Probably aligned Hedron network. We do have some of our better creatures get hit by it, like Oran-Rife Hydra and Ulamog's Despoiler. So. Okay, Eyeless Watcher does help us go wide. I could take a Silent Skimmer. This is sort of where I decide, like, do I want to be going wide? And I think our deck's more equipped to do that than take advantage of colorless synergies, although we do have Skitterskin, I guess. But I think Eyeless Watcher is better. We also have some high curve stuff, so getting some tokens out there seems good. I will take a Fertile Thicket here over another Earthen Arms. It helps us fix. And I think that's better for us. Blister Pod or Tadru Beastmaster. So our ally deck, as this ended up being, probably wants Tadru Beastmaster more than Blister Pod. We also have some ramp stuff going on too, so Blister Pod's good for that. But I already have enough 6-drops to be honest, so I think I will just take Blister Pod here. Helping us ramp a little seems good. I'll take a Reclaiming Vines for the sideboard. And a Giant Mantis for the sideboard. He's not a bad pickup late for us. And now we'll take some lands. I think I may have violated my own rule there because I got caught in the moment of taking foils that count as the highest rarity. So throw that rule out. I think other than that, I actually did manage to follow my rules, though. All right. So we are, in fact, splashing white. We have 28 cards in our deck, which is a lot. So we need to do some cutting. I think I'm happy to cut a second Scythe Leopard. Do I want 2 Transgresses? Do I want Earthen Arms? Probably not Earthen Arms. Dominator Drone seems okay. Sharpshooter. Assassins, sure. So Bloodbond Vampire is an ally, but we don't have any way to gain life, so we lose out on that part of it. But I think we do want allies because we have the Tadru Warcaller and Grove Tender Druid. Do we want Retreat to Kazandu? I don't think so. I think I'd probably side it in against really aggressive decks. Hagra Sharpshooter. How many allies do I have right now? These are allies. This is an ally. You're an ally. Ally. That's all we got. So I don't think we can really cut any of them. I think we want the Transgressors to help out our Void Attendant and our Ulamog's Despoiler. I think that will be helpful for us. Okay, so let's put things back where they go. Do some thinking. We may want to cut a Skitterskin. I mean, he's worse when he can't regenerate consistently, and he won't be doing it super consistently in this deck. We have a huge number of creatures, incidentally. We got 2 Transgress the Minds as removal, basically, in the end. We lost all of our removal, so that should be interesting. So yeah, I'll cut at least 1 Skitterskin. I like the Blister Pods for helping us get to our 6s and our 7 earlier, and even our 5s. So I think I like that. The transgresses, like I said, I think I keep them in to make sure our voided tenant and Ulamog's spoilers are better, and it's the closest thing we have to a removal spell, sadly. So I think we need to leave it in there. Pilgrim's Eye definitely stays in. We may cut a second Skitter Skin, as much as we don't want to do it. Because yeah, I think we cut him. I think he's gone. He's just not going to be able to regenerate enough. I mean, we have Pilgrim's Eye, Dominator Drone, Ulamog's Spoiler, and Eyeless Watcher, and Brood Monitor. I mean, it's a decent number, but I don't think it's enough. I mean, the question is, would we rather have... I mean, we still need to cut one card anyway, so it's not really a question of rather anything. I think we probably cut the Baloth 2 and play our 2 better 5-drops. And I think that's basically our deck. We have the 1 Pilgrim's Eye, a Canopy Vista, and a Fertile Thicket for fixing. Not too bad. This deck's definitely weird. You know, it's not where I would have gone ideally, but that's kind of the point of this draft, is to end up with kind of a wacky deck and see where things take us. We can definitely ramp into like a Plated Crusher early-ish, you know, play Ice Watcher turn 4, Plated Crusher turn 5, things like that. And that seems pretty good. Lifespring Druid helps me get there too. And playing our 2 big landfall dudes is good. Too bad we didn't get an Evolving Wilds to really help those guys out. But we do have Fertile Thicket, which can kind of help with that. Okay, let's sort by color. I mean, we have 2 white cards, basically, and we already have 1 Canopy Vista. I don't think I want Sylvan Scrying to help me fix. We have a bunch of green cards, several black cards, and a reason to run as many black sources as possible. Yeah, so what do we want to do lands-wise? We have these 2 colorless cards too, which lands are 2. So we already have 2 green sources and 1 white source, and plus Pilgrim's Eye, which can grab us what we need. You know, that's probably not too far off, but I think I could cut 1 forest and put in 1 more swamp and feel pretty good about it, because we have 10, so 10, 6, 3 seems pretty good to me. So I think that's where we go. We don't need to be playing most of our black spells as early as possible, though Transgress the Mind would like to be played as early as possible, I suppose. So yeah, our deck's kind of going to try to go wide on our opponent, use Gul'Draw's Overseer to Drew Warcaller to try to win the game by going wide. And we can also have sort of a ramp strategy buried within the deck as well. So that is what we ended up with in the Stipulation Draft. Hope you enjoyed watching it. It was definitely different. Let me know if you have any ideas for a Stipulation Draft for next week's draft. If you come up with one that I like, I'll do it and, you know, give you credit on the next draft. So, yeah. So, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next 3 rounds.